What's going on, everybody? The fantasy postseason is here. It is week 14. The Patriots and the Rams are kicking off in just a few hours. And man, I am stressed out about Cam Akers. And I bet you are too. We'll answer all of your questions here. We got DeMarcus Ware joining us in an hour. We have two people who did not play defensive end and are not going to the Hall of Fame, at least not in the NFL Hall of Fame, maybe the Fantasy Hall of Fame. Chris Towers and Frank Stanvoy here. What's up, Chris?
You know, Frank's pretty young. I think it's too early to write off his chances of making the NFL Hall of Fame. You're what, 28?
I just turned 29 last month.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's right around you could have a Kurt Warner-esque, return to the NFL.
Yeah,
he's got to get you out to the Arena Football League tryouts first.
Yeah, how does his WAR compare with other analysts during their age 28 season?
That I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
All right, cool. Well, what's going on, y'alls? I don't know why I just said y'alls. Never said that in my life. We're ready to answer your questions, so let's get started here. No Christian McCaffrey this week, most likely. Wow.
Just absolutely snake bitten season.
So Jamie wants to know if we should be trusting Mike Davis this week. Do we trust Mike Davis?
He has one game since week 5, I believe, with more than 11 PPR points.
Yeah.
It hasn't been great. Now, one of those games was with McCaffrey active, but I think he's a low-end RB2. I think there are about 20 low-end RB2s this week.
But the fact that DJ Moore is not going to play, and I haven't heard anything about Curtis Samuel, I know he could return this week. I feel like he's going to, but I don't know if he's I don't know. Does the fact that they are a little depleted at wide receiver help Mike Davis?
It should. I don't see how it could hurt. I would say if DJ Moore it doesn't look like DJ Moore's going to play, I guess there's still a chance for Curtis Samuel. But if DJ Moore's out, I would probably project 4 to 6 targets for Mike Davis, at least.
All right, so Mike Davis or Giovanni Bernard, Mike Davis, Devontae Booker. Where are you guys gonna end up with on Mike Davis?
I tend to typically move them up to RB13, but based on what Chris just said, that sounds probably aggressive.
Yeah, man, it's a tough call. Like that, Devontae Booker, Mike Davis, and who?
Giovanni Bernard.
I think all three of those guys are really tough calls.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Let's throw Cam Akers in there while we're at it with tough calls.
I think Akers is the better player of the 4. I think he's in a better offensive situation, at least, than any of those 4. It's just we don't know what the role is going to be. He played the second most snaps of any Rams running back all season last week, but that was with Darrell Henderson playing 0 snaps. Darrell Henderson?
Yeah.
Darrell Henderson. All right. Who's Darrell? Why do I say that?
Darrell.
There's a Darrell.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Darrell Henderson, excuse me.
Uh-huh.
He didn't play any snaps in the second and third quarter. I believe he left early in the first quarter.
Right.
And he pretty much split snaps in the fourth quarter with Cam Akers. I believe Akers played 10 snaps. Henderson played 9 in the fourth quarter. So I don't know. I think
know.
Akers.
I'm gonna say Mike Davis 1, Cam Akers 2,
no,
Devontae Booker 3. Obviously, unless Josh Jacobs plays, Giovanni Bernard 4. That's how I'm gonna rank them.
I know. I think Dave and Jamie both have Gio Bernard pretty high this week, and I just don't know.
It does
like that. It looks like a great matchup. The Cowboys are a bad defense, and they just got destroyed. But
guts to do some rankings right now. Let's go.
I got him for you right now. Mike Davis 1, Giovanni Bernard 2, Devontae Booker 3, Cam Akers 4.
Cam Akers 4. Okay. I feel like Cam Akers is the best player in that group, so I'm hesitant to rank him 4th. But
he's the best player, and he's in the best offense. So it's really hard to rank him 4th.
I feel like, is their offense that much better than Carolina's?
Patriots have been better against running backs recently as well.
All right, let's get to more questions here. Let's talk about some more players here. Mike Evans may not play. He did not practice. So here's one from P-Dub side. Chris Godwin or Allen Robinson?
Oh, man. I think Godwin. It's a good matchup. He should get a bunch of targets.
Yeah, I like Allen Robinson. I was all over him last week, and he didn't really come through, but Bradley Roby suspended for the Texans. We just saw T.Y. Hilton have a massive game against their secondary. I'll take Allen Robinson.
Both have really good matchups.
Yeah,
it's a good situation for both of them. It's tough to say. I think they're both in the wide receiver, top 13 discussion.
From Mr. Jamsons. And by the way, if you're watching on Twitch Sports and you want to ask us a question, come over to our FF Today channel and ask away, and we will get to your questions. Mr. Jamsons, pick an RB2 and a flex. Jonathan Taylor, Miles Sanders, J.K. Dobbins. So pick one of those three. Taylor, Sanders, Dobbins.
Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor.
Yeah.
And then Sanders, Dobbins, Robbie Anderson, or Deontay Johnson.
Man, I think it's Deontay. But, is there some Ronald Jones potential for Deontay Johnson where, if he has one drop, is he just, does he get yanked?
I don't know that they have that luxury.
I think they do.
Ben was
They're
saying...
pretty deep there.
Ben Roethlisberger, not Ben Traeger of FFT fame, was saying that, he thinks James Washington deserves to be on the field more. And that took away from Chase Claypool on Tuesday night, right? Monday night.
Yeah.
But it's possible that it could be Deontay Johnson if he continues to drop the ball. Now, drops are pretty random, and I think he's as likely to not drop a ball as he is to drop one, this week. Not like a 50-50 chance he'll catch any given ball. But there's risk there.
Yeah, well, I would say Robbie Anderson because DJ Moore being out. If DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel are both out, I think I'm going to go Robbie Anderson there. But looking at the game log of wide receivers against Denver, look, Julio Jones, 54 yards and a touchdown. None of the Raiders guys had more than 31 yards. Devontae Parker, 61 yards and a touchdown. Michael Thomas, 50 yards. That was a weird game with barely any passing. Tyreek Hill, 58 yards. Now, he did have a touchdown. That wasn't called a touchdown. He had another long touchdown callback. But they've been pretty good against wide receivers. I still think Robbie Anderson, I feel like he's pretty safe for 70 yards because DJ Moore is out. So I think it's a good option there. But the bottom line is I'm not starting Miles Sanders. And Dobbins, I think, could have a good game, but we know what happened last week with the carries. All right, from Joe Kuhn 11. Godwin, Terry McLaurin, or Robert Woods?
If Mike Evans is out, I would use Godwin. If Mike Evans plays, that would make it really close between McLaurin and Godwin, and I would go McLaurin.
Yeah, McLaurin has been practicing this week. His ankle, I do think, was bothering him more than expected last week, and it was a tough match against Pittsburgh. I think I would go with Godwin.
This is from Fitty Pitties. Pick one in flex, PPR. Deontay Johnson, Brandon Ayuk, Kiki QT, James Conner, Devontae Booker, or Cam Akers.
Pick one?
Yeah. I don't think we're going to go Booker or Akers here.
No.
So let's narrow it down to Deontay Johnson, Brandon Ayuk, Kiki QT, and James Conner.
Man.
Yeah, I think it's between the Steelers. I think it's between Conner and Deontay. In PPR, I'll take Deontay.
I think I agree with that. I think I would go with Deontay. I could see it being a big bounce back for James Conner. I could see them wanting to run the ball more to try to get the offense right.
Yeah, well, it's a good matchup. The Bills not so good.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do Conner.
Okay.
I like that.
Wait, you're going Conner as number one over Deontay Johnson?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good matchup. But
Deontay Johnson gets literally every single game he's healthy except for one. He gets double-digit targets. It's insane. I don't know. I know you talked about the downside, and I see it. I'd have to go Deontay Johnson. Don't forget, James Conner was terrible against Dallas and Cincinnati.
And we don't know what kind of lingering effects there's going to be from the fact that he did test positive. He had COVID-19. So we don't know we saw, during baseball season, there were a handful of guys who just never got right, after that. And they seem to struggle, with their conditioning, with their strength. We just don't know.
Okay, that's a good point. All right, keep the questions coming. We are live until 5:30 p.m. Eastern. At 5 o'clock, we got DeMarcus Ware coming on. He actually joined us for a home team watch party presented by Lowe's during the Cowboys-Giants game. We had a great talk with him then, and we'll talk more with him today. He's got this new fitness app that's out that I probably should download because I could use it. Trying to.
I love that you're always wearing the flex shirt when you're flexing.
At the stream. It's true. I'm looking at the stream to see just how scrawny my arms are on camera, and yeah, they're pretty bad.
You had your arms up. Were they hidden behind those twigs in your house, or what was going on there?
It's so bad. All right, I cannot answer this question about rest of season DSTs. I do not know their matchups. Sorry. This is from Jacob. Jacob has 5 questions in one. So here we go. Pick a quarterback. Taysom Hill, Kirk Cousins, or Derek Carr?
Taysom Hill.
I think so, yeah.
Pick 2 wide receivers. Robert Woods, Michael Thomas, Terry McLaurin.
I would go Woods and Thomas.
I would go Thomas and McLaurin.
I am really, Chris, I'm surprised. You're going Robert Woods over T-Mac.
What's wrong with Robert Woods?
The Patriots? What's wrong?
I mean, the 49ers aren't exactly a bad defense either, and the Patriots haven't been like stone cold lock defense this year.
Okay, yeah, the last 2 weeks they've done a great job against Hopkins and Keenan Allen.
Who play different roles than Robert Woods does in the Rams offense?
Sure. I'm just like every week you're defending Terry McLaurin. I'm just very surprised.
He's really good. I mean, I think all of those guys are top 15. I have a little bit of concern about McLaurin just with the ankle. I just don't know if he's 100% right now.
Pick 1 running back: Swift, Sanders, Gaskin.
Gaskin.
I think Swift if he plays.
Okay, and then you got a flex, fellas. You got either Terry McLaurin or Robert Woods, whoever you didn't pick. And then the running backs you didn't pick, Swift or Gaskin.
Well, you would have to decide if you want to use Swift tonight over Robert Woods based on what I said. And
then you could just use Myles Gaskin or Swift. Oh, I'm sorry, you're already using.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would use Woods.
Yeah, you have to go with Woods.
I just don't think Swift's going to play. But
yeah, you can't chance it. Such a good matchup, but you can't chance it. Godwin, Terry McLaurin, or Robert Woods?
Godwin if Evans is out, McLaurin if Evans plays.
Herbert or Lamar Jackson?
Man, Herbert's a really tough one to answer right now because you've got like Kyler Murray struggled for the last 3 games. Take an example, but we know why, or we think we know why. He's having trouble. He's got the shoulder injury. He hasn't been able to push the ball downfield. He hasn't been quite as willing to run. Herbert doesn't necessarily have like an excuse like that for why he struggled so much the last 2 games. It's just maybe he's hitting the rookie wall. Maybe it's a little bit of bad luck.
Well, who the last
have offensive line problems too.
New England was one of them. They're playing pretty good defense. Was it
Buffalo? Buffalo's defense isn't good.
Yeah, I mean the one thing I'd say is that Buffalo's defense has gotten a lot better. At least the pass defense. East Coast trip. That's the second time he's struggled on the East Coast. He wasn't good against the Dolphins, and he wasn't good against Buffalo. And those were 1:00 games. Just thinking of excuses. All right, what's it going to be? Herbert or Lamar?
I'm going to use Herbert, and I have the reason, Chris. It's because he cut his hair.
I mean, maybe. Don't tempt the fates like that.
Chris hasn't been the same since he shaved it.
That's true. My quarterback play has been awful since I shaved my head.
All right, from Mac, 1985. 1985. So young.
Great song.
Great song?
Yeah. Bowling for Soup.
Oh, that song. Great song.
It's a song.
Great song. Look at his fun song.
It's not a great song.
Yeah, no.
It's a good song.
Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper, Corey Davis. Sit 1. Kupp, Cooper, Davis.
I think I'm sitting Kupp.
Yeah, it is super close between Amari Cooper and Cooper Kupp. Yeah, I'll sit Cooper Kupp.
What do I do with Alvin Kamara? Do I trust him or no? Because I could still win without him.
Yeah, you trust him.
I have him ranked inside the top 12 this week, but I don't really feel good about it.
Yeah, I don't love it. I mean, the Eagles.
The other running backs that are right behind him, you have question marks about some of those guys too. Like this week, Wayne Gallman's a high-end RB2, which he's fine, but are you really going to use him over someone like Kamara? Like, no.
Well, I think he might get. I think he might get more carries than Kamara.
Yeah.
And honestly, he might get more catches. They might have the same amount of catches. Might be one or two. Who's better? The Kamara is a better player, but
I think Kamara's in that group of guys who I wrote about this in the newsletter earlier this week. I think Kamara's in the group of, I think it was 8 guys at running back who I just can't see myself sitting under really any circumstances.
I want to check Aaron Jones's DFS price. I feel like this is going to be his week where he just has like 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Although it's probably going to be like that for Devontae Adams too, so that's going to be difficult. Packers are going to score a lot of points this week.
I've been riding Devontae Adams in a couple leagues, and like there's going to be a bad game at some point. He can't do this every single week this season, right? He can't have like 110 yards and 2 touchdowns every week.
No, he can't.
So Jacob Gibbs gave the stat on the show today. He's facing the Lions. They play the second most man coverage in the NFL. His target share in man coverage is over 40%. It's like 42%.
Had his worst game of the season against the Lions.
He got hurt.
He left that game. Yeah.
So like this could be that week where he goes for 150 and 2.
And their secondary's beat up right now too. He's going to go off.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not saying I expect it. It's just at some point it's going to happen, probably. Playing the probabilities. He's got 3 games left, or 4 games left, I guess, in real NFL. You say there's a 25% chance in any given game Devontae Adams is a disappointment. And
did it happen at all with Michael Thomas last year? I wonder.
I'm sure it did.
Let's see. I'm gonna look at the game log right now. Let me get a new question up while I look at that. From Goya Beans, actually first from Beast. Help me pick my starting running backs. I guess he needs 2. I don't know. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Myles Gaskin, David Montgomery, Mostert, Gio. CEH, Gaskin, Montgomery, Mostert, Gio. Who are your favorites there?
Montgomery and
Gaskin.
Yep.
Okay. Next question from Goya Beans. Antonio Brown, Robbie Anderson, Adam Thielen, Michael Pittman, and Kiki Cutie. Pick 2. Antonio Brown, Robbie Anderson, Adam Thielen, Pittman, and QT.
Thielen
and Robbie.
And shockingly, Antonio Brown is going to be a really tough one. I've been super down on him all year, but if Mike Evans isn't there, he could have a big game.
Yeah, doesn't this feel like the game where Antonio Brown scores? He hasn't scored yet.
You gotta hope that coming out of their bye, they kind of get it together.
Yeah, I mean, he was starting to see his snap share, dip under, I think it was 70% in like 3 straight games before the bye or something like that. But if Evans isn't there, all of a sudden you've got a team that's going to throw the ball probably 40 times, and they spread the ball around a lot, but you're taking away their number 1 target guy so far.
Michael Thomas, boy, did he let you down. You needed to get into the playoffs in week 13.
What a bum. Against Atlanta.
Falcons, 6 catches for 48 yards.
See?
And then his next 3 games, 128 or more yards and a touchdown, and 11 to 12 catches in every game. So that is 30 or 31 PPR points in weeks 14, 15, and 16 last year.
There you go. But 1 bad game out of 4.
1 bad. You probably didn't need it, but because you did so well previously. Nash Wave says Chris rocking the sweet sweater.
This is my holiday sweater. I'm a big fan of this one.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like it. From Hotspur, full PPR, pick 4. Rojo, McKissick, Connor, Mostert. This is tough. I don't like this. Tim Patrick, Beasley, and Cam Akers. McKissick, Connor, Mostert, Tim Patrick, Beasley, Akers. I'm stressed about this question.
McKissick and Connor stood out to me first and foremost. So that's 2 of them. I think Beasley has to be in there in full PPR.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. I
The
think Ronald Jones is the other for me.
Yeah, that's another one where we just don't like. I think the last game before the bye was the first time in at least like 4 weeks. Maybe he only did it once in the last 5 games or something, where he outsnapped Leonard Fournette. Yeah, he was under 50% snap share and really under 45% snap share 4 out of the last 5 games before the bye, and we're all like, well, Bruce Arians said he has to get 20 carries, so that means it's going to happen. And like,
Mm.
I don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'll go with Rojo there. Since Fournette returned in week 7, 56% of the snaps for Fournette, 39% for Ronald Jones.
And that's just because of Fournette's passing game role. It's not like Fournette's been getting...
It's trending the other direction, though, in terms of the touches. It's trending toward Ronald Jones.
Right. It's just Fournette's out there in passing downs, which kind of highlights why this is such a tough situation and why it didn't really make sense to add him, because he's not a good passing downs back.
Yeah.
And they just kind of had to shoehorn him into that role.
From Gambino 49, PPR, Woods, Debo, Brandon Ayuk, Antonio Brown. Pick one. Woods, Debo, Ayuk, and Brown.
I think it's Woods.
Yep.
Ayuk's really hard to sit, though.
I know, that's the thing. It's like I feel like I have Woods and Debo. I don't have Ayuk on this team. And I'm going to start probably both, but I'd start Woods over Debo. But it just feels like I'm doing it out of obligation. Like I'm just nervous about Robert Woods. I'm nervous about the entire Rams team.
Robert Woods is wide receiver 12 this season in fantasy points per game. Like I don't know that most people would realize that. It seems like he never has blow up games, but he's just pretty damn consistent.
Stupid touchdowns.
Over the last 3 games, he has 29 catches for 295 yards with a touchdown. Like, he's been awesome lately.
Yes, he has. Do you guys know, by the way, can you name the top 4 tight ends in fantasy?
Yes. Travis Kelce.
But then don't do it. Let Frank try.
I think I could.
Well, now I gave him 25% of it. Great.
How dare you, Chris? I think I could do it in points per game, or is it just overall?
Overall.
All right. Travis Kelce, Darren Waller.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is in PPR.
Both. I mean, the order is switched between 3 and 4, but either way.
I'll say Hawkinson and then Mark Andrews.
Chris, you want to correct him?
Hawkinson and Robert Tonyan.
Robert Tonyan is tight end 4.
George Kittle is still tight end 17, and he played 6 games.
All right, here's one from
Mike Gesicki is tight end 8. Logan Thomas is 9. Tight end stinks.
Yeah, it does. Times KG. Miles Sanders or Kareem Hunt?
Ugh, Sanders.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, I'll go with Sanders.
I'm going with Kareem Hunt. Honestly, I'd be a little optimistic about Sanders. Like, I feel like they know they have to get him involved, and he's talked about he's excited to run the read option. I just am terrified of the New Orleans Saints defense.
That's fair.
Ravens are good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Saints are just playing at a different level. From Jay, who do I flex in PPR? Cam Akers, Devin Singletary, Kiki Cutie, Devontae Parker, or Antonio Brown. Man, this sucks. Please help. These aren't that bad of options. Akers, Singletary, QT, Parker, Antonio Brown.
It's the wide receivers for me. And I could make a case for all 3 of them. I think I would go Brown, QT, Parker in ranking them.
Yeah, I would put QT in for now, and I would just take my chances that if Mike Evans doesn't play, like Antonio Brown has massive potential. So I'll just take my chance of one of QT or Antonio Brown there. But QT if Evans plays, Antonio Brown if Evans is out.
That's another one where it just feels like it could blow up, and like Kiki QT couldn't get on the field, couldn't get on the active roster for nearly the entire season.
Yeah.
And now it's like, he's a wide receiver 2. Let's lock him in, baby. Playoff time. And like, he could have 4 catches for 12 yards next week.
He could. Yeah, he could. Watson's playing so well that I want to buy into it, and the Bears' pass defense really is nothing special. I know it's risky.
They throw quite a bit too, so it helps.
Yeah. Who does? The Bears or the Texans?
The Texans.
Because the Bears, I think, are like second in the NFL or something in pass attempts.
Well, when you pass so well.
I know.
I mean, when you have Trubisky, I mean,
Ridiculous.
there's nothing else you can do.
It's like the food is terrible, but at least the portions are large.
I wonder if there are any restaurants that I know that are like that. Bad food, they give you so much.
I mean, I don't want to say any potential sponsor. I don't want to ruin any potential sponsorship opportunities, but there are definitely a few.
Go ahead.
Like Olive Garden. They give you like mountains of food, and it's like
I like Olive Garden.
It's C+ Italian food. The best thing they have is the soup, salad, and breadsticks, and really just the breadsticks.
The problem is
$1.
You go into Italian, you go to a non-chain Italian restaurant, they're all so good. So you have a lot to live up to. Like, it's hard to go to a bad Italian restaurant. They're just delicious.
Yeah.
All right, we got some let me just check my phone here. We got some injury news to give everybody. Hold, please. Okay, let's see. We got DeAndre Swift limited in practice. Kenny Golladay unlikely to play. And Isaiah Simmons and DeAndre Hopkins didn't practice for the Cardinals. Kenyon Drake was limited with a hip issue. And Jamison Crowder was limited in practice as well. So, and no Denzel Mims this week. Crowder becomes a lot more interesting without Denzel Mims.
I am pretty excited about Crowder, man. I moved him up inside my top 30 wide receivers.
You know what's going to happen, Frank.
Let's go. This is the week. 5 catches for 25 yards.
It is. Yeah.
Anytime you can buy into the Adam Gase offense, you've got to do it.
So this is what's going to happen with Crowder. Let me look up his start percentage last week while we have a second. He's going to have a good game this week, and he's going to be started in like 50% of leagues. Then he'll be started in like 80% of leagues next week, which won't be reflected because a lot of teams are out. But like 80% of the active leagues that have Crowder, and he's going to be totally crap.
I mean, he had 104 yards or more in each of the first 3 games. He hasn't had more than 48 since. Now that downturn kind of coincided with him getting hurt a little bit, but yeah, it's been. And he only played 68% of the snaps last week.
No, they should have put him in on defense at the end. And he was started in 40% of leagues last week. All right, back to the questions from SF. Start 2 in PPR. By the way, if you're watching on Twitch Sports, you want to ask us a question, check out the FF Today channel. I'm going to scroll down and we get some new questions after this one. Way behind. Start 2 in PPR. Nyheim Hines, Kenyon Drake, Raheem Mostert, Josh Jacobs, J.K. Dobbins, Chase Claypool. Hines, Drake, Mostert, Jacobs, Dobbins, Claypool.
Jacobs isn't playing.
If he doesn't play, then you start him, but he's not going to play.
It doesn't seem like he's going to play. I think the quote from John Gruden was, "I don't see him playing this week."
What does he know?
I think.
All right, so Drake, right?
Drake is the one that I think is above the rest for me out of that.
Assuming that hip isn't anything, which we don't know.
Pay attention to that. But if Drake plays, I would go with him. And man, there are so many names that I have ranked close together. It's risky, but I think I would use Dobbins.
Yeah. Okay. Justin Credible, Panthers or Patriots? DST.
I would go with
I like the Panthers. The Broncos. I mean, Drew Lock is just a firecracker. Like, the guy just will throw into any type of coverage, and he turns the ball over quite frequently. So I would use the Panthers.
All right, let's see. From Joe 99. Allen, Michael Thomas, Hill, and Kupp. Who are you sitting? Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp. I'm sitting Tyreek Hill. He stinks.
So bad.
He returned to practice today. He had missed yesterday's with an illness.
I'm sitting Kupp.
You're sitting Kupp.
Yeah. From the Six God, Myles Gaskin. Is that a Game of Thrones reference? Myles Gaskin. Wasn't that one of the things, right?
Well, there were like 7 gods, I think.
But wasn't one of the, weren't those jerks who shamed Cersei, like the 6 people with it? Right? Am I crazy?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember what it was called, but
I think Six God is a song by Kenyon Drake. Just by Drake, not Kenyon Drake.
Oh, even Shraggy B knew that. He says it's a Drake song. This guy's never even seen Christmas Vacation, but he knows that. All right. Myles Gaskin or Chase Edmonds?
Oh, Gaskin for me.
Gaskin.
All right. So he's asking if Drake is out, Myles Gaskin or Chase Edmonds.
It's not like Edmonds was all that impressive the one time he got to start, but I think I still go Gaskins.
I mean, yeah, I would go Gaskin.
All right. Deontay Johnson or Tyler Lockett?
Deontay.
Man,
I don't love it.
a close one. I'm gonna go with Lockett.
Supreme Fox 8. Supreme Fox, is that from Game of Thrones? Pick one. Barber, Colin. Oh, these are fun. Peyton Barber, Colin Johnson, Darius Slayton, or Laviska Shenault?
Peyton Barber, Colin Johnson, Darius Slayton, or Laviska Shenault. Shenault has a thumb injury. Doesn't seem like it's too serious, but worth acknowledging.
I think I'm going to go with Colin Johnson here. Tennessee's got a really bad defense, and he's been targeted pretty well. I wouldn't say heavily, but in 2 games.
That seems right. He probably has the highest upside of that group. The Cardinals have struggled a little bit against wide receivers recently, but Slayton's target share has been down. I'll go with Colin Johnson. And, every time I hear his name, Adam, I think of Colin Robinson from.
Me too, dude. Yes, that is great. He's the energy vampire, Colin Johnson.
That show.
Yeah,
could not get into it.
Really?
What?
Yeah, we watched the first episode and it just did not grab me.
No, the first couple episodes are a little slow. I'll admit that, but dude, you got to keep going. Like that show is wild.
Okay.
I felt the same way actually about Rick and Morty, but now I'm realizing it's one of the funniest shows I've ever seen in my life.
I watched Rick and Morty for the first time in the midst of like a literal delirious fever that I had. Like, this is what happens to me as I've gotten older. Like, the last 4 years, one time every year, I get like the flu, and it just like I have like 100-degree fever, and I'm just like lost in a like trance like state for the whole day. And that was the first time I watched Rick and Morty, so it worked.
Do you get the flu shot?
No, I should.
You know what? We're just gonna leave it at that.
I should. No, you're
team flu shot, Adam. Let's go.
Hell yeah. All right, from Luger 4. I'm projected to get blown out. Do I roll the dice with Ruggs or Hollywood Brown, or is that a bad idea? Or Ruggs and Hollywood Brown?
Oh,
it depends on what the alternatives are. Like, I think both those guys have upside, but if you have to start one of them, I'd go Brown.
Yeah, come on. No, don't do this. Is philosophy here. Like, I don't believe this. I don't care what the projections say. Bad weeks happen all the time.
I only care what the projections say when I'm projected to win.
Yeah. Don't start players that aren't as good, because if it's a close game and you started your safe, 12-point guy that, with a high floor and you benched him rather for Marquise Brown, who had 2 catches for 40 yards, you're going to be so furious. So don't do that. Sorry for lecturing you. I didn't mean to. I should lecture Chris about the flu shot, not you about your fantasy team. My bad.
No, that's fair. Get your flu shots, guys.
Baez 724. Big Ben or Ryan Tannehill?
Tannehill.
Start of the week, Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
And pick one in PPR. Mostert, Sanders, Connor.
Connor.
Yes.
This is from KD's other burner account. I imagine I would find that funny if I was more of a Hoops fan.
Yeah, it got discovered that Kevin Durant responds to people on a
fake
Twitter account.
I did see that.
And apparently still does it. He admitted that that's something he does regularly.
He's sensitive.
He's probably the most sensitive player in the NBA.
I like it because it's like what I would be like if I was making $40 million a year. Like I would still just be totally thin-skinned and petty.
Oh, yeah. I just weird. He's just very, very sensitive. By the way, Kyrie Irving, dumbest comments I've ever. You kidding me? He played with LeBron James, bro. He was pretty.
By
good
the way, I want
to
go back to Tannehill for 1 second because there are some wild stats. So if you go back to last season, he has 15 games with 31 or fewer pass attempts. That's a small number. Most quarterbacks throw more than 31 times. He's averaging 25.3 fantasy points in those 15 games. In 2 games against the Jaguars as a starter, he has averaged 21 pass attempts per game with 36.5 fantasy points.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, I'm sorry. Let's get the question. That's amazing. Katie's other burner account. PPR, pick one. Akers, James White, Damian Harris, Peyton Barber.
Pick one.
Yeah.
I would go Akers.
I like Damian Harris over Cam Akers, but it is close. Adam, I know we spoke about Harris last week and that the I forgot. No,
Chargers last
someone
week.
else. Yeah, it was someone else that I was thinking about. But I think the Rams have allowed some short yardage touchdowns recently.
It was Kenyon Drake, and
Yeah,
that was another Jacob Gibbs stat.
Yep.
They've allowed a touchdown to a running back in 5 straight games, but they don't allow a lot of yards. So you've gotten a lot of like 8 to 12 point games from these running backs. You'll need that from Harris. The problem is he doesn't always get the goal line work. That's the big issue.
He almost never gets the goal line work.
Right, it's
so
true.
Far.
Yeah. Cade says if Claypool is out, he missed practice today. If he's out, should I play Hollywood Brown or Sterling Shepard?
Hollywood.
This is the fun floor versus ceiling thing because Shepard, he's played 6 games with Daniel Jones, not including week 2 he left with an injury. He's scored 10 or more PPR points, which isn't great, but it's respectable in every game, all 6 games. He's had 6 catches or more in all 3 games. Whereas, Hollywood Brown, you could get 2 points from him, but Shepard is almost certainly not going to have a big game. So I would probably go with Sterling Shepard if it were PPR, and if it were non or half, I'd go with Brown.
Yeah, I like that call too. I mean, the Cardinals have given up 9 touchdowns to wide receivers over their last 6 games, so I guess there's a chance for Shepard to score. But yeah, I like what you said there, Adam.
Pretty low. Daniel Jones has 8 touchdowns to 9 interceptions this year, and that's why Gallman's been so good. Every time they're near the end zone, they just Gallman it. From Score Bob, who do I play as my RB2 in PPR? Kareem Hunt, J.K. Dobbins, or Cam Akers?
I like Dobbins.
Kareem Hunt, J.K. Dobbins, and Cam Akers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hunt is probably the one who has the most assured role, but I think I would go Dobbins. I'm just going to hide behind Frank on that one. Frank's my human shield.
From Black Stars 321, half PPR, I need 2. Robert Woods, Corey Davis, Robbie Anderson.
Woods and Davis.
I like Robbie Anderson and Davis.
Okay. And thoughts on Mike Davis's matchup?
I don't know. I'm not sure it matters all that much. It's not a, I don't think it's a strong matchup or a bad one. I think it's kind of middle of the road, and I would assume that's what the numbers show.
The Broncos absolutely suck against running backs.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, no, they're prone to giving up some big games. 219 total yards and 4 touchdowns to Vegas running backs in week 10. And then they gave up
that big game.
184 yards and 2 touchdowns to New Orleans running backs in week 12. So, I mean, they are prone to giving up
That's
some.
why I was excited about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He didn't play. And then those guys, Bell and Darrell Williams, didn't really do much, but they had 17 carries. No, I like the matchup quite a bit, but I just don't love the player. But Mike Davis had some really tough matchups. He had some really tough matchups when he was struggling. Like, I'll just take a look at the game log here.
He's going to have like a healthy workload. You figure he's probably going to get, 6 targets, especially with DJ Moore. I think Curtis Samuel's going to play. I would assume so. He was just a close contact. But yeah, you figure 6 targets and probably at least 13 carries.
He's had the Falcons, Bears, Saints, Falcons, Chiefs. McCaffrey played in that game. Bucks. Really tough stretch there, and he was awful. Then he had the Lions, and he scored because everybody scores against the Lions. But that was, 19 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown. It was almost like, man, this guy just isn't that good. But he scored, and then he had Minnesota. So for the most part, just really tough matchups for him. This will be a better one. We have a poll up on Twitch. Best Christmas movie. I had no input on this. This is all Schrager. Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, Elf, and Polar Express. Okay.
How did Polar Express get in there?
Over what? What would you do?
What are we doing?
What was your 4th?
It has to
anything.
Jingle All the Way. Come on, guys. It has to be.
I
The only
would take
Arnold movie you've ever seen.
I will take Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I will take Frosty the Snowman.
People love Polar Express. They love
I
it.
will take Charlie Brown Christmas Special. Charlie Brown Christmas Special might
That's
be
not. That's a special. That's not a movie. That's
It's a movie.
How
It's a
long
movie.
is it?
Like 50 minutes probably.
It doesn't count.
I actually have no idea how long it is.
The Thanksgiving special is a half hour, so I think
Probably a half hour.
No, I think Polar Express deserves to be up there. Although I will say we have 26 votes so far, and Polar Express has 0. So maybe that was a bad one on Traeger's part. Way to go! It is a tight race. We're all tied. Christmas Vacation and Home Alone.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3. How about Just Friends? Just Friends is my new
That's a
favorite.
pretty good one,
Yes.
yeah.
That is the right. And we watch it every year on Thanksgiving, Adam. My family and I. It's a tradition, and that's how you kick off the Christmas season.
The Night Before was fun. I don't know if you guys have seen that one, the one with Seth Rogen and
That-
Joseph
Oh, I
Gordon-Levitt.
love that movie.
That was
That
really
really
good.
good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Batman Returns is a Christmas
Office-
movie.
Office Christmas Party.
Oh, that one was
Really
kind of
fun movie.
That was
Really
good
fun.
too. I watched Gremlins last week, which is
Oh, that's a good Christmas movie.
it's actually a Christmas movie.
Is it?
Home Alone. Both Home Alone movies are Christmas movies.
How many of those
Home
movies
Alone's
did
already
Paul-
on there, Chris.
Oh, is
Home
it?
Alone's in first place.
How many of those
Yeah, it
movies
should be.
has Ben Traeger actually seen? That's in the poll.
He has seen Home Alone, Elf, and maybe Polar Express, but he has not seen Christmas Vacation. I can't wait to get DeMarcus Ware's opinion on this. All right, let's go back to the questions here. From Hess Express, not Polar Express, Hess Express. Rank these wide receivers in PPR, and who would you start over Mike Davis? Adam Thielen, DeAndre Hopkins, A.J. Brown, Deontay Johnson, Brandon Cooks. Rank them.
Gosh.
Hopkins, Brown, Thielen, Johnson. Who was the last guy?
Cooks.
Oh. Yeah, I think that's the order. Hopkins, Brown, Thielen, Johnson.
And then Cooks?
I think so.
I would put Brown first and then Thielen,
And then Hopkins?
then Hopkins, and then it was Deontay Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson and then Brandon Cooks. That's the order I would do.
Let me tell you something here, folks. Here are the must-start stud wide receivers against the Giants. Terry McLaurin had a huge game, 115 yards and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb had 124 yards, most yards. Only 2 wide receivers this year. Actually, Cam Sims. Only 3 wide receivers have been over 100 yards. McLaurin, Cam Sims, and Lamb. DK Metcalf had 80 yards. Hold on. Allen Robinson, Robert Woods, Cooper, Travis Fulgham. Those 4 all had 33 or fewer yards and no touchdowns. Deontay Johnson, Tyler Lockett, Fulgham again, 57 to 73 yards, no touchdowns. Evans, Cooper Kupp, 55 to 69 yards and a touchdown. I'm not sitting Hopkins, but he ain't first on that list for me. What are you going to say?
A Muppets Christmas Carol, also. Fantastic.
Never seen anything Muppets.
You and Heath are both anti. Like Heath,
like that. I'm not
Heath
anti that.
actively dislikes the Muppets, which is just bizarre. But like, Muppets are delightful.
I've heard.
Go
of that.
watch a Muppets Christmas Carol.
Bad
Come on.
Santa's a good
Got
one.
Michael Caine
Oh,
as
that
Scrooge.
is great. Oh, how about Bill Murray and Scrooge? I mean, I'm not even sure.
Scrooge, yeah, Scrooge is pretty good.
I don't know that Traeger knows who Bill Murray is, but he was in this movie called Scrooge, and it was really funny. All right, here we go. Flex spot from Sale 98. T.Y. Hilton, DJ Chark, Mike Davis, Hunter Henry. Hilton, Chark, Mike Davis, Hunter Henry.
Yeah, it's Mike
PPR.
Davis there. Mike Davis.
I think so.
From Burger Bounce. Help the burger bounce to a win. Robert Woods or Robbie Anderson, standard scoring.
Woods.
Robbie.
Show me the Benjamins. Pick 2 in non-PPR. Robbie Anderson, McKissick, Akers, and Drake.
Non-PPR.
Non-PPR.
Non-PPR, okay. Anderson and Drake.
Correct.
Pick 1 from Supreme Fox. Gio, Gabriel Davis, and Mike Davis. Half PPR.
Mike Davis.
M. Fusari, 1422. Kirk Cousins, Cam Newton, or Derek Carr? Cousins, Newton, Carr.
Cousins for me.
Cousins.
Hurst or Jonnu Smith?
Hurst.
Yeah, just make sure. We don't know if either one's going to play. Hurst is a little banged up as well. But
I think
it's a really good matchup for him.
I think both are trending towards playing. Smith was limited yesterday. I don't know about today. And Hurst has played through this ankle thing, I think, last week as well.
It's actually a really good matchup for both of them, but I would go Hurst.
Is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie? Or is it a Halloween movie?
I've never seen it, but
Man, what are you doing with your life?
is The Nightmare on Elm Street a Christmas movie? By the way, happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Hanukkah.
What a great day to be having this Christmas movie discussion on the first night of Hanukkah. Steelers or Chiefs?
Defense?
I'm going
What do we do?
Yeah,
Defense.
Yeah. Man.
I don't care about your rankings, Frank. We've already decided it's the Steelers.
All right. I like the Chiefs.
Justin Herbert or Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Come on.
Bucks, Panthers, or Titans this week? Bucks have the Vikings, Panthers have the Broncos, Titans at Jacksonville.
I would go with
I would use the Panthers. It's a good matchup for the Titans, but their defense is just so bad.
I think I'm going to go with the Titans.
All right, I think we answered this. We'll do it again from Score Bob. Who do I play as my RB2 in PPR? Kareem Hunt, J.K. Dobbins, or Cam Akers?
I like Dobbins.
I think we went with Dobbins.
Okay. McKissick or Mostert from Jamie, and this is non-PPR. McKissick or Mostert?
Man, I wish you could feel better about Mostert's role, but I think you still have to go with him.
Yeah, I would use Mostert and non.
Yeah, easy in PPR to go McKissick. Mostert is just, we're just not answering Mostert a lot tonight. We're getting a lot of Mostert questions, but how could you feel good about it? And they just don't run the ball as well without George Kittle. We saw that last year and so far this year. Supreme Fox, we already did that one. Sorry, excuse me. Let's go to Connor. Bucks, Niners, or Titans? I just read that one. Sorry. Oh, no, I didn't. Bucks, Niners, or Titans? All right, a little bit different. The other one was Bucks, Panthers, or Titans. This one, Bucks, Niners, or Titans?
I would go with the Niners.
I like the Niners there.
Smalls is pointing out that Hollywood Brown does have 2 straight games with 8 targets. That is true. Don't forget, Mark Andrews missed both those games. Willie Snead missed both of those games. Have you seen anything on Willie Snead? Not that he's a huge
I think
factor,
he was
but
activated.
Yeah,
I think he was activated today.
yeah, I mean, that's just not good for Brown. Not that we're starting Snead or anything. Oh, he's off the COVID list. Okay. All right, from the last OG. 14-team league. Pick 2 running backs and half PPR. Gaskin, Swift, Gallman, Dobbins, Mike Davis, Mostert, David Johnson. First of all, you are going to flex one of them because Galladay is out, and there are definitely 3 running backs who are better than Chark, I think anyway, in half PPR. I'll let you guys decide, but he needs 2 and Chark, or he needs 3 of them and sitting Chark, half PPR. So Gaskin, Swift, Gallman, Dobbins, Davis, Mostert, David Johnson.
I would go Gaskin, Swift, and Johnson.
I would go Gaskin, Swift if he plays, and Mike Davis. If Swift does not play, then I would use Mike Davis and Gallman.
Wait, you're going... Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah. I was going to say, you guys not giving a lot of love to Gallman. Okay. From Home Alone wins the Christmas movie poll.
As it should. It's the best of those.
Convincingly.
Yeah, it's the best of those options.
Is it, though? Because Christmas
think so.
Vacation is really good.
It's good, but Home
No,
Alone...
it's not really good. It's legendary.
Okay, but Home Alone is, first
Also
of all,
legendary.
was one of the 10 highest grossing movies of all time, I believe, before like every Marvel movie came out. It's a beloved movie. It's got the scary old man with his shovel. Classic.
Scary Old Man with a Shovel was a lot better than Creepy Bird Lady.
I like them both.
Dude, you need to watch
There's
Home
nothing
I watched Home Alone
creepy
2
about her.
for 5 minutes last night. It's dreadful. It's just dreadful.
It is weird that these movies about a small child, like basically murdering two men were these massive cultural phenomenon.
All right, for my flex spot, Hilton, Chark, Mike Davis, or Hunter Henry. I think I answered this. We answered this already. Sorry, but what was the answer? Mike Davis, right?
Mike Davis.
Yeah.
Okay. From Serby 114, PPR, one receiver and a flex. Calvin Ridley, Robert Woods.
Calvin Ridley.
Ridley.
Oh, Julio Jones, by the way, may not play. He has missed practice 2 days in a row. I mean, he tends to do that and play, but I wouldn't mind if he didn't play because I'm sick of the Matt Ryan stress. Just go ahead and sit him and get it over with. All right, Ridley, and then a flex. Robert Woods, Myles Gaskin, or J.K. Dobbins, PPR.
Gaskin.
Yep.
Okay, from Justin. Booker, White, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire, PPR.
I have this strange feeling that Clyde's going to go off this week. I'll use him.
I'm getting real Mike Boone vibes from Devontae Booker.
Oh, so he's going to have an awesome game this week.
Yeah, just absolutely stunk it up in the first game, so everybody goes away from him. But it's still a good situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that he only played 42% of the snaps. That's the one thing that separates him from how they used DeAndre Washington last year. Was Washington was playing like 65% of the snaps.
And the Colts have a very good run defense. So are we going CEH? Well, Frank is.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. From Ross G. Brooklyn. Half PPR. Damian Harris, Nyheim Hines, or Gio. Pick one.
I think I would go with Hines.
Yep.
Really? Okay. From Julian Dub 82. Hey, Julian, Bubbles, and Ricky. We get that all the time. I think that is the Trailer Park Boys from good old Canada.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is
I hear the show is tremendous.
I've never watched it.
Me either. Full PPR. I have McCaffrey and Gibson. Sorry, bud. Pick two. Chase Edmonds, Damian Harris, Cam Akers, James Conner, or Booker. Oh, this is Julian from Greece. What's up, Julian from Greece? All right, so Edmonds, Harris, Akers, Conner, Booker.
Conner for sure.
Yeah. I think Akers.
It's really close with Booker.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to take a chance on Kenyon Drake not playing, I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, but if you think it's close enough between Booker and Akers,
yeah, that's fair.
you could wait till Sunday, and if Drake isn't playing, go Edmonds, and if he is playing, go Booker. You could do that.
That's fair.
Let's do that.
All right. Let's do that, folks. If you are just joining us, welcome. I see our audience is growing here, and that's great. If you're watching on Twitch Sports, come over to FF Today. We have DeMarcus Ware joining us soon to be Hall of Famer, one of the best defensive ends of our time. He's the man. He's going to talk about his new fitness app, and we're going to ask him about Christmas movies. And meanwhile, we will answer your fantasy questions as well. But if you want to ask us the questions, you got to be in the FF Today channel. So come over there and subscribe. Be our friends and follow us, subscribe, whatever you want to do.
Goodbye.
All right. What, you're leaving already?
We have to make room for DeMarcus Ware.
Get out. Get out, Chris. We don't care.
Bye,
everybody.
Chris.
Later, Chris. Happy Hanukkah.
Hi, DeMarcus Ware.
All right, Frank, let's see how many we can get to here
Let's do it.
before DeMarcus makes his way on. From Ozzy, full PPR, pick one. David Johnson, Tyler Boyd, J.K. Dobbins, Dallas Goedert, or Mike Williams. David Johnson, Tyler Boyd, J.K. Dobbins, Dallas Goedert, Mike Williams.
Man, a lot of people are going to be mad at me if J.K. Dobbins sucks this week. But I'm going to go with J.K. Dobbins.
All right, J Huff 70. Pick one for flex. Jamal Williams, Jarvis Landry, or DJ Chark.
Oh, Jarvis Landry.
Okay. Let me just give you a fun stat. For Jamal Williams, I'm not starting Jamal Williams, but where's the damn stat, Frank? All right, the Lions have played 12 games. In 4 of them, 2 running backs have scored 12 or more PPR fantasy points. That's a lot. In 3 of those 4 games, 2 running backs have scored 17 or more PPR fantasy points. 2 running backs scoring 17 or more PPR fantasy points in a quarter of the Lions games against the Lions. They are so bad, but it's just a fun, I don't know, DFS dart throw or something. You want to save some money. Trying to get some questions that we haven't answered. A Carlisle 44, rest of season DST, the Seahawks or the Browns? I have a bye this week. All right. I don't know why I'm even reading this, but let's take a look at week 15. The Seahawks, I know they have another good matchup. They have Washington, and Cleveland has the Giants on Sunday night in New York. Who would you rather have next week?
I think it is the
Seattle at Washington or Cleveland at the Giants?
Yeah, it's pretty close. I'll take the Browns.
All right. From DPAP, start 2. Tyler Boyd, Brandon Ayuk, and Marvin Jones, and Cooper Kupp. Start 2 in PPR. Boyd, Ayuk, Marvin Jones, and Kupp.
I'll use Kupp, and then man, that's a really close one. I like what I saw from Marvin Jones last week, so I'll go with him.
All right, the 22-ounce tall can says, I don't need any fantasy advice. I just want to say thanks for all the past advice in the playoffs in 4 of 7 leagues. Thank you, 22-ounce tall can. Very much appreciated. Hey, Ben Schrager.
What's up? What's going on?
Polar Express.
Yeah, it's #1 Christmas movie on Rotten Tomatoes last time I checked.
Well, then you're calling our audience dumb because they did not vote for it at all. Why would you come on and immediately do that?
They did not. I'm sorry, guys.
Messed up. All right, well, that's Ben Schrager. He's going to be with us for a little bit. DeMarcus Ware coming on in just a few minutes. We're live till 5:30 today answering your questions on Twitch. If you're on Twitch Sports, go to the FF Today channel and ask us or ask DeMarcus Ware a question. You can do that as well. No, I think we answered this for Supreme Fox. Go with Mike Davis over Gio and Gabriel Davis. From Interglobal, this is a very corporate question. Sit 1, Cooper Kupp, Robbie Anderson, Cole Beasley, or Deontay Johnson? Cooper Kupp, Robbie Anderson, Cole Beasley, Deontay Johnson. Who are we sitting?
I'm sitting Beasley.
I have Beasley ranked the lowest, but yeah. It's close.
But I do like Beasley. It's not a bad matchup with Steelers corners banged up.
M. Fusari, I think we may have answered this, but we'll try it again. Cousins, Newton, or Carr? You said Cousins, right?
Yep.
Hurst or Jonnu Smith? We said Hurst. And then this one, Steelers DST, Titans DST, or Chiefs?
Chiefs.
Yeah, I said Chiefs before. Stick with that.
All right, I'm scrolling down. I got to get some new ones here. We got a lot of questions. I fall behind. Durant27 wanted to know, where is Die Hard on the Christmas movie list? I'm not even going to dignify that.
Adam, you must hate this time of year. Like, how many Die Hard just tweets, emails?
Oh, so many. My cable company listed it as a Christmas movie. I went to the store and it's in the Christmas bin. Here's a sweater that says it's a Christmas movie. Here's a Christmas ornament with John McClane on it. Yeah. Come on. Don't fall for it, people. Yes, I know. I know that we had the writer of Die Hard come on our show and say it was a Christmas movie. But who cares? Listen to me. Not the guy who wrote Die Hard. Listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. This is from Methodful. Brandon Cooks, Debo Samuel, or Antonio Brown. Pick one in PPR.
Cooks.
From Chief Pizzico. Full PPR, pick 2. Gallman, Gordon, Sanders, Mostert, Akers, Dobbins. Gallman, Gordon, Sanders, Mostert, Akers, Dobbins. Pick 2 in PPR.
The Gallman and Dobbins for me.
I will go with Gallman, and it is close between Dobbins and Melvin Gordon. Let's go with Melvin Gordon.
And then in PPR, pick the running back that you didn't pick there, or your third favorite running back. Flex one of them, or Landry or Debo.
I'll flex my least favorite, which is Melvin Gordon.
I'll go with Dobbins.
I'll go with Debo. All right, let's see. From Mr. Chavez, Robert Woods or Brandon Ayuk?
Woods.
All right. DeMarcus Ware, what's going on? Happy holidays.
Hey, what is up, man? I hear y'all talking about some picks around here. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Who y'all picking around here?
Oh yeah, we're setting some fantasy lineups. You know,
Nice.
yeah.
Hey,
You got any
who's winning? Who's winning right now?
who's winning what?
Y'all got. I know y'all got a
Well,
fantasy.
not
league.
Adam.
Oh,
Not Adam.
Yeah, we're in a lot of leagues.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm in 11 leagues. How many are you in, Ben?
10.
10. Frank, how about you?
Wow.
I'm an 8.
8.
Wow,
Okay.
that's crazy.
You ask us in a few weeks. We'll see who's winning. The playoffs start this
All right,
week.
cool.
It's a big one.
Cool.
How are you? How are you, DeMarcus?
Hey, good man. Here's actually my 10th interview of the day. So this is going to be the most exciting one. This is the last one. I saved the best for last. So I'm ready.
All right. Well, Ben and Frank, like I know you guys are big fans of the app. My phone is busted. I was going to download it, but I really need it because I'm the scrawniest guy in fantasy industry. But Ben, I know you wanted to come on and talk about the app.
Yeah, I got the email about the app and I was like, shoot, I'm going to download it. Hit a nice lower body workout today. Took about an hour. I'm already sore. It was very easy to use, put in personalized stuff. So I'm a huge fan of the app. DeMarcus, great stuff, man.
Hey man, that's nice, man. Because that's one thing that I really wanted to hear is, the interaction of how people. Because a lot of people are like, "Well, DeMarcus, I can't work out like you." I said that's the thing. I want to just build the best you. Been working on this since I retired, but I wanted to build a different experience with 3D models, augmented reality, but also artificial intelligence. So as you keep using that app, it's going to grow with you all the way. It gives you all the phases on how you need to train. It's from the beginner all the way to the advanced level, but it's not just a workout plan in there too. There's like targeted exercises you probably see. You can actually do challenges in there, just to name a few. But it's some nice stuff, cardio programs. But I'm really excited about this project.
Yeah, the app is called Driven to Win. So go ahead and download that. It's really easy. Driven to Win. Were you a baseball player by any chance back in high school or something like that?
Dude, I played baseball. Like baseball was like my sport.
Really?
Like I'm not kidding. I blew my shoulder out in high school and I hurt my hip too. And my coach was like, DeMarcus, I don't think you would have played baseball anyways. Maybe you should try out football. And dude, I started playing football and I really wasn't that good. A wide receiver. I got one scholarship going to Troy. Then all of a sudden genetics hit. And here I am now playing 12 years and had a good career.
Well, Ben, who downloaded the app and worked on his legs today, he was a college baseball pitcher at Rice, and he was like a submariner coming from the right side. Oh yeah. So I think if we all ever get together in person, I think you should try to hit off Ben, and Ben, you should try to block DeMarcus Ware.
Now you're talking. So we got to make it an even playing because the submarine guys I can never hit, but if he played tackle, I'll make sure that he feels exactly the same way I feel sitting in that batter's box when he comes from the right.
2 more months of Driven to Win, I'm blocking you, no problem.
Hey, good, nice.
Yeah, keep using the app, Ben. You might be able to block him.
Exactly.
So what do you want us to know about? What do you want people to know about the Driven to Win app? How does it work?
I worked on this for the last 3 years, and one thing I want to know is, and people to know is it's a whole different experience. It's not just content that's in there, right? I want to give them a whole full user experience to where if you use a 3D model, instead of using just video where you can see it in a 2D way, you can look at it all the way around. You know how to do the exercises. It's telling you your sets, reps, whatever type of variable that is. But then if you still don't know how to do it, you can put it in a space with you. You can put it right there at your house. You can put it at the gym. It'll show you how to use either equipment, bodyweight exercises, so you can really be dialed in with that. But it's for everyone. And that's what I really want people to know. It's not just a athlete workout where there is an athlete section in there. If there's kids like from high school or college that want to work out like a Von Miller or a Tyron Smith or a Leighton Vander Esch that's in there, they can use that too. But this is just that driven mentality that it took me a very, very long time. Once I retired, I couldn't walk. I had 3 back surgeries, 1 neck surgery. That's how I retired. But then that's when I started thinking about how can I make my new locker room the weight room and really affect people through fitness. And this where, Driven to Win really came about.
Yeah, and DeMarcus, I think what you really hit on there is that, some people might be intimidated by a fitness app if, they don't do it every single day. But what I noticed is that it is beginner friendly because you have
Right.
like the 3D basically versions of yourself showing you how to do each and every workout. So that was something that I noticed where, even if you haven't worked out before and you might be intimidated, like you have those 3D models that show you how to do each and every exercise.
Exactly. And that's what I want people to be comfortable. But if there's an athlete that wants to use it, guess what? There's some hard exercises in there as well. But it's all about where your test in is. And so when you test in, it tells you what phase you're going to be in, because there's 5 phases of fitness. There's the stability phase, endurance phase, hypertrophy, strength, and power phases that people really don't know about it, but it's implemented inside of the app. So you're going through these phases along the way so you don't plateau, because usually you get to about 10 pounds, you're like, I can't lose that other 2. That's why you're going to cycle back through those phases, get bigger and stronger, and never plateau and always get results.
All right, DeMarcus, I'm going to check our Twitch stream here and see if we have any questions for you. And we do. And one person noted that puberty.
I am on Twitch. I'm on Twitch.
Okay, great. Puberty was good to DeMarcus. LOL. Yeah, I would agree with that. All right. So who from Mr. Lance, who is the toughest lineman you ever faced?
Dude, the toughest lineman I've ever faced was Walter Jones. He played for the Seattle Seahawks, number 71. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I remember coming in my rookie season, they were like, hey, dude, your first game is going to be the Seattle Seahawks. You're going to play against Walter Jones. He's a monster. And I'm like, man, I've been crushing the tackles already in training camp. And we started watching tape on him. It was like, yeah, he doesn't go to any of the off-season workouts. He just works out at home. So I saw one of the programs. He had some chains around his neck. He had a car behind him, and he was pushing it up the hill. I'm like, what in the hell? Right? Like, that was like unorthodox, right? And then we started watching tape on him, and he actually would grab the guys and almost like was that waterboard style, where he would push them all the way to the sideline to the opposing bench and throw them off the side. I was like, is he going to do that to me? But dude, he actually did, though, for a little while. But it was one of those things where Walter Jones, it took me 6 years to get a sack on him.
Wow.
6 years to get a sack on Walter Jones, and I played him like 10 times.
Wow. Pineapples wants to know if you can play defense for the Cowboys next year.
You know what? I'm thinking about coming back. I'm just kidding. But they need to really just buckle it up a little bit and get better in so many aspects. They got the talent, but it's like people aren't where they need to be, and they don't know where they need to be because they went from a 4-3 to a 3-4 defense, totally different personnel. But it takes like a year for those guys to get used to that. But listen, we need you now. We ain't got time for any of the other stuff.
How much of your career was 4-3 and how much was 3-4?
My whole career was 3-4. And I played 1 year with Rod Marinelli, and I was a defensive end. So I played defensive end in college, so it was easy. But when I had to stand up in Bill Parcells' scheme, it took me like almost 2.5 years to get used to standing up as an outside linebacker. So think about DeMarcus Lawrence. He's been playing defensive end all his life. And every once in a while, I see him stand up, and I'm like, oh, my God, he has to drop now in space and cover, a Tyreek Hill. So I'm like, that's a totally different change, man.
So sorry, Frank, I'll stop hogging all the questions. By the way, real quick, what is your Twitch tag?
Oh man, I couldn't even tell you. I gotta look on it. You caught me off guard, but I know I do have Twitch. But we're gonna talk about this Twitch because I love video games too. So
okay, cool. So yeah, I guess how much of, if you're playing defensive end in a 4-3, you're rushing the passer or playing the run most of the time. If you're playing linebacker in a 3-4, how much is rushing the passer and how much is dropping back in coverage and whatnot?
So you would probably drop about 10% of the time. But when you drop back, it's one of those plays to where now the pressure guy is somebody else. So they know that you're not coming. So they're going to put you on a guy that you cannot stick. So you only probably have about 1.5 to 2 seconds to just hold that guy while somebody else brings pressure. But if you miss, that guy's going to be wide open and there's going to be nobody there, and you're going to see that big play, and they know exactly who was on it. And the quarterback's going to actually single you out every time.
Interesting.
Every time.
DeMarcus, I wanted to ask you about mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, they are up and coming right now. Lamar Jackson, we just saw win the MVP. Kyler Murray's taking the league by storm as well. They're pretty hard to defend, except, of course, if your name is DeMarcus Ware. I don't know if you realize this. I looked this up. Back in week 14 of 2006, you had a pick 6 and half a sack against Michael Vick. So I'm sure that was like an awesome moment for you. Talk about like game planning for a mobile quarterback and why they are so hard to defend.
You know, man, it's a hard thing when you have mobile quarterbacks like a Michael Vick or Kyler Murray. I mean, even like a Patrick Mahomes, if people don't think like they can run, or a Russell Wilson. So first of all, you got to beat the tackle. And then let's say that you just miss that quarterback. They're one of those guys that can string plays out. So you got to worry about these read plays. You don't know if the quarterback has the ball, if the running back has the ball. As a defensive end, now you have two responsibilities, right? If it's a non-running quarterback, you know, oh, okay, well, he's not running the football. He's not going to boot out. But now when you have to worry about that, now those small plays become big plays because you have two responsibilities. And if you mess up on one of them, you're done. And so those mobile quarterbacks now are starting to get those quarterback chunks. You know, when you start seeing teams get 300 yards like the Dallas Cowboys gave up this week, yeah, 120 of those yards was Lamar Jackson running up the field and adding on those tack yards. So it's a challenge, man. And that's like the new age right now. All guys, they're not just sitting back in the pocket anymore. They're pretty mobile, not saying that they're fast. They can move around, keep those plays string going and throwing it down the field.
Do you have to kind of take a different tactic? I mean, do you rush differently when you got a mobile quarterback?
Yes, yeah. There's always like a spy guy. So usually in a 4-3.
Well, I'm sorry, I meant you personally rushing the quarterback. Do you
differently? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we would usually do is just keep the guy in the pocket.
Yeah.
All the guys would be more in their power type techniques and pushing the pocket, closing it off. We want to keep the quarterback in the phone booth. That's what we always say. Keep him in the phone booth so he can't make a phone call, right? But when you let him out of there, he's making as many phone calls and 911 dials that he wants, and he's going to be throwing it down the field, making those big plays on you. So everything changes when you play against a mobile quarterback. And the thing is, you play a lot more man-to-man when you're playing mobile quarterbacks because it's just the way that it's done, and it's all on that front four to keep them in the pocket.
DeMarcus, speaking of mobile quarterbacks, I mean, you went up against Cam Newton in Super Bowl 50. You are a Super Bowl champion. You guys sacked Cam Newton 6 times in that game, and you had 2 sacks alone. Cam Newton, like I'm looking at you right now. You're a big dude. You're jacked up. Cam Newton is nearly the same. He's nearly the same
size.
playing size, playing weight as you. Yep. What is it like trying to get Cam Newton down to the ground?
I remember the first time I hit Cam Newton. Now I'm not talking about in the Super Bowl, but playing him when he was at Carolina. Actually, he was in Carolina. Yeah, he was at Carolina earlier. And I came around the corner, went through the middle, and when I hit him, you know how when usually I hit somebody, I'm just plowing through them, right? And not even worried about anything. But I hit him, and it was like this. And I like almost fell off of him. I'm like, wow. What? Are you freaking kidding me? I didn't make that mistake the next time. I made sure that I brought a little bit more power. But when you have a guy as big as him that can also run as fast as you, that's when you start having a problem when you have those mobile quarterbacks.
We got a question here. What was it like working as a pass rush consultant for the Broncos? And do you think you helped Bradley Chubb's development?
Dude, I think that was probably one of the best things I've ever done before, being able to dial in on the technique of pass rush, the mentality of how to get to the quarterback with Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, Sheldon that were up there at the time. And I mean, the first year, Bradley Chubb, I think he had 10 or 11 sacks his first year. His second year, he went out there, balled out. He hurt his knee. He was balling out before that. Then he comes back this year. I mean, I think he has about double-digit sacks right now. And just talking to him, I think that helped him out tremendously on his mindset, how to get to the quarterback because he had all the tools.
Who was your biggest influence as a player?
My biggest influence as a player was actually Osi Umenyiora for the New York Giants. I see you got that Giants Super Bowl tickets things back there, and I really don't like that because I lost to them twice during that Super Bowl year.
Uh,
That Super Bowl year I was 13-3. They were 9-7. I'm getting real close to this TV right now, and we lost to them. And then 2 years after that. But OC, man, OC, we grew up together in Auburn, Alabama, went to high school together, and he helped me get a college scholarship at Troy. He went to the NFL, and I followed right after him. So I had a mentor like the whole time I was playing with OC. And I mean, we're still like, brothers right now.
I remember the 2007 game against the Cow playoff game. I guess it was 2008 of January. That was a great game. And you guys were so good. I couldn't believe the Giants won that. That was the whole postseason for them.
Why you got to bring up old stuff? Why you got to?
I'm sure you played a great game. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't
Man.
let's see. From Core 2186, hardest quarterback to game plan against.
The hardest quarterback back to game plan against at the time, it was like Michael Vick. Like Michael Vick was one of those guys where he was left-handed, first of all. So he got to see, he was one of the only quarterbacks that I knew that once I got past the tackle, he can see me because he's actually looking at me because he's left-handed, right? Usually majority of the quarterbacks are right-handed. So once I get past the tackle, they can't see me, I'll get the sack. But he was like 2 times faster than me. He was one of those guys where if he took off around the corner, he was gone. You thinking about Lamar Jackson being gone? No, Michael Vick was gone. So I think the running quarterbacks are the hardest quarterbacks to prepare for because there's so many plays. They make plays. They create plays compared to the other quarterbacks that are more traditional.
DeMarcus, speaking of Michael Vick and Cam Newton, similar question, but who was the hardest quarterback for you to sack while you were playing? Is it one of those mobile quarterbacks, or is it someone like Ben Roethlisberger who's just like a massive human being and just constantly breaking tackles and stuff?
Dude, the hardest quarterback to take down was the least mobile quarterback was Phillip Rivers.
Wow.
Right? And the reason why is right before the game, Phillip Rivers, he told me, he said, DeMarcus, you're never going to get a sack on me. He said, you know why? He said, I'm going to either throw it out of bounds or I'm going to get an intentional grounding. I'm not going to let you sack me. And I'm telling you, it took me 12 years to get a sack on Phillip Rivers. When I was in Denver, going all the way to fast forward, all the way to Denver, close to one of my last games of my career, was playing the San Diego Chargers. I got past the tackle. He saw me coming, and he just fell down on the ground, right? And I just touched him like that, knowing that it was going to be a sack. He was like, DeMarcus, you're never going to be able to get a true sack on me. I said, well, on paper, here's how we're going to see it. On paper, that says it's a sack.
It's a sack. Oh, yeah.
But I said, I never got my hands on you. I said, it's going to be one day. So I've never gotten that day before, but he's been the hardest guy to sack.
Is everything true about him being a huge smack talker in the NFL?
Oh man. He talks so much trash with no cuss words. Just looking at you, saying stuff. DeMarcus, hey, great job. It's one of those things where you're like, I just tried to knock you out. And he, especially if he scores a touchdown, he looks at you and he's like, boom, in your face. Boom. And you're like, you can't say nothing because it's just scored on us.
Yeah.
It's like those small things that he did, man, that just ticked you off.
Having listened to Tony Romo in the broadcast booth for the last few years, I can't imagine he was much of a smack talker.
No, he wasn't a smack talker at all, but he did little things that let you know that he's trying to get under your skin.
Yeah.
So imagine like if he throws a touchdown and he's like inches away from you and he just like, boom. And it's almost like, he's celebrating, but he's doing it too close to me.
Yeah.
Doing this too close to me when I almost had that sack. I'm just talking about the guys that were trying to get. Yeah, he's a funny guy, man. He's great in the booth. Great in the booth.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so more questions coming from Twitch. Which video games do you play?
I got Call of Duty. I play Fortnite. You know what? Actually, I play Rocket League. I play DRL Drone League. I play because I love to build drones and stuff. That's why this app came about. Computer science major, so I love those types of things. And Madden. I got to stay on Madden. I'm always on Madden. If there's any games out there that people want me to get on and play, believe me, I'll figure it out and I'll kick some butt.
All right, which team do you choose in Madden?
The Seattle Seahawks. I choose the Seattle Seahawks. I choose Kansas City, and I choose the old San Francisco team.
Oh, okay. Frank, are you a gamer?
Yeah, I play some stuff. I've been playing a lot of NBA 2K recently. I got the new Xbox Series X, so I've been dabbling. I don't have Madden yet, so I'm gonna look into it. But
I hadn't gotten into 2K. I got to check 2K out.
yeah, 2K is fun, man. I noticed a theme there with every team that you choose, no matter what, you've got a good quarterback.
Oh, no matter what, you got to have a good quarterback. Come on now, you have to have a good quarterback.
From the Mr. Lance, who is repping the NFC in the Super Bowl?
The NFC in the Super Bowl. You know what? I would say the Seattle Seahawks.
Really?
Which is crazy, man. I think the Seattle Seahawks, and I mean, I want to say Pittsburgh. That'll be a good game, or Kansas City.
Yeah.
I just don't know how that matchup's going to go because I feel like they're going to see each other sometime or another, and I think that's going to be a grudge match. But I think the Seattle Seahawks, they didn't play well a couple weeks ago, but they got the total team. Everybody has their ups and downs, but we'll see.
Please, if the football gods are listening, please give us Patrick Mahomes versus Russell Wilson in the Super Bowl.
Oh man, that would be
Gosh.
crazy.
You don't want
That would be
Mahomes
crazy.
versus Aaron Rodgers or Mahomes versus Drew Brees?
Yeah, it'd be fun, but it's not the same. It would
But it's defense. I'm going all about the defense. Like, what defense is probably going to match up against the other quarterbacks? Then I want to see who's the best quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, like Pittsburgh, I match up good with Russell Wilson, right? Kansas City, now you can start talking about Aaron Rodgers because now you got a guy that can actually compete with him offensively, and they have just both defenses, they're good, but not like as strong as Seattle's is what I mean. But it's going to be one of those games where a lot of touchdowns are scored, and it's just going to be a lot of back and forth.
Who is a player on defense that you like to watch these days?
I've been watching Aaron Donald, TJ Watt. I've been watching TJ Watt a lot. I'm a big pass rush guy. So also Myles Garrett. They've been playing lights out, man. And I feel like one of those guys is gonna win defensive MVP.
Yeah, you just brought that up. Those are the three favorites in terms of betting odds to win the Defensive Player of the Year. Watt is the favorite. If you had to choose right now, would you give it to TJ Watt, DeMarcus?
I'll probably give it to TJ Watt because he's on a better team. Usually, the people that win the MVP are the last ones that are being seen at the time, especially like during Super Bowl time, right? And if there's 20 sacks compared to 19 sacks, okay, you're in the Super Bowl and you're not in the Super Bowl, I'm going to pick the guy that's in the Super Bowl because now his team around him all benefits from what he's doing.
Yeah, you get a lot of really awesome defensive ends. That's just a position that's get drafted really high. You get a lot of studs. Aaron Donald is so unique. I can't really recall.
Oh, man.
Right? Like, did you play, with not necessarily on the same team, but in your time, which wasn't that long ago, a defensive tackle who compared to Aaron Donald, just a complete game wrecker?
I would probably say Leroy Glover.
Oh.
I played with Leroy Glover in Dallas, and he was one of the only guys. I think he had 20 sacks, like 17 sacks in a season. And then guess what? He went and coached at the Rams. And guess who he taught?
Interesting.
Same stuff, which is Aaron Donald. And they're the same body style. They do the same moves, but Aaron Donald's just a little bit more athletic. And you can see that. But Leroy Glover, man, he was a beast when I played against him. Played with him, my bad.
I love DeMarcus Ware, but I want to see him play with the Saints. The Saints are hot right now.
They are hot, man. They're going to have to change that quarterback, though. They want to go a little bit further. Right now, with Hill back there, they're getting the job done, but you're going to have to get a game manager. They're going to have to get Breeze back if they really want to have a big push.
Yeah, they will hopefully next week. Frank, I'll read one more and I'll turn it over to you. If you had not played football, what would you have done instead?
If I have not played football, I'll be doing something in computers. I'm one of them guys where I was going to, before I even started college, join the military and do something with like drones and computers and doing that type of stuff that make some type of change. But now I'm doing exactly what I want to do is, still build apps, build software. And I get to do it now with a platform that I built from sports and now change some lives through fitness.
It's awesome.
DeMarcus, one of my favorite players growing up was Terrell Owens, and you had the pleasure of playing with him on the same team. What was it like playing with Theo?
Dude, that I have never seen a guy in better shape in my life. Like, he never worked out with the team, but every time we had like one of those drills where we went in, we ran gassers, he would run over to the other side of the field, and we've just started, right? He runs over the field that fast, and by the time I get halfway, he's already going back to the other side. Like, that's how fast and how much in shape he was. He was always looked like he had like 2% body fat, no matter if it was off season, whatever. Even like now, I don't know how old he is, but he still looks just like when he played. So, Terrell Owens, man, especially on the sidelines, he used to just get berserk, but I liked it because he had so much passion and so much like credibility on how he played and just want to.
Yeah, I've seen those videos of him still working out. It seems like he could still play. DeMarcus, I'm a Jet fan. I'm rocking the Jets right now. Like, we could use Terrell Owens.
Hey, put him out there.
Oh man, what did you make of the last play of the Raiders-Jets game last week?
Oh man, dude, that hurt.
Oh,
When I saw that, you know how many seconds was it? Like 14? Was it 12, 14 seconds? It was something like.
Well, the Jets man, Frank. I mean, it was the happiest moment in Frank's life. Still got Trevor Lawrence coming.
Dude, that's and what are they? 0 and 11?
0 and 12. 0 and 12. Right?
0 and 12. And I thought that, okay, well, they're going to pull this thing out. And they're like, nah, we still want to lose this game. We want the first round draft pick.
It was pretty unbelievable. All right, before you go, I got to know your favorite Christmas movies. All right, like we did a poll in Twitch.
Okay.
It was Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, Polar Express, and what was the other one, Frank?
Elf.
I don't know if you want to go off that list or off any list. What are some of your favorite Christmas movies?
What about the Christmas Story? Nobody has a Christmas Story on there. Nobody has, if you really want to get into Christmas, why don't y'all talk about the old Rudolph, the one that looks like a freaking clay thing? You know what I'm talking about? What about the old Rudolph? Or, I'm a big Home Alone fan.
Yeah.
And it was another one that was, I was looking at it last night. It was the Christmas, was it the Griswolds? Is that?
Christmas Vacation. Yeah,
that one. Yeah, man. That's. I love those movies, man. I love those movies.
Yeah, Christmas Vacation and Home Alone have been so far the two most popular. Have you seen Elf?
I've seen Elf. Elf is pretty good, but it does not equate to Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, I would agree. Hey, man, thank you so much. This is really a pleasure having you on the Driven to Win app. How can we find it?
You can go right on the App Store and download it. You can go to Driven to Win website. It also will push you to the App Store. So it's in the Apple App Store. So get on there and download it. It's $14.99 a month, $74.99 for 6, and $99 for a whole year. And you get 7 days for free on there. So you can go through the content, see what it's about, and see that it was a lot of hard work put into this. And I can't wait to see who all signs up.
Thank you again, DeMarcus, for coming on. Really appreciate it. Great having you.
All right, thank you. Peace out.
Happy holidays to you. Peace out. All right, that's going to do it for us here on Twitch. Frank, thank you. Frank, I actually, DeMarcus said about keeping a quarterback in a phone booth. I was wondering, have you ever actually been in a phone booth?
Kind of an actual phone booth.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if Frank knows. He probably knows what a phone booth is.
Yeah, I know what they are. Superman used to go inside of one and change. I used to use like payphones when I was younger. My parents.
Payphones, yeah.
Had to, but
I love that stupid Maroon 5 song. I'm at a payphone. Like, no, you're not at a payphone. You have a cell phone. Like, it's ridiculous.
That seems like a song you would like, Adam.
I hate everything that comes out of Maroon 5. All right, I don't want to get off on a tangent here. Let's end the show. Thank you all so much for watching. Good luck in week 14. Starts tonight. We'll recap it on Fantasy Football Today in 5 and the Fantasy Football Today podcast, full-length version. Send in your emails, fantasyfootball@cbsi.com. We'll read it on our show, on our mailbag show, and we'll see you Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, noon Eastern, for Ben and DeMarcus and Frank and Chris. I am Adam. Good night, everybody.